The 2017 Croc2Croc mountain bike challenge took place in the Quena Basin Conservancy in the Leidenburg district of Mpumalanga province. This unique piece of land offers mountain bikers the Steenkamps mountain range with its fascinating cliff formations, the Crocodile and Lindsklip rivers, including the spectacular Lindsklip waterfall, as well as the Quena Dam. The area also has some of the highest concentration of trout ponds in the country. As was the case in 2016, Verlorenkloof Estate played host to this spectacular three-day stage race. Depending on their fitness and technical skill levels, riders entered in one of four categories: the Cruise Croc, the Mild Croc, the Wild Croc and the Crazy Croc. And these categories are just as their names describe.
Lekker! Lekker wijn drinken, man. You'll go.
So we meet our clients here, we meet potential new clients here, and it's a fantastic opportunity to build relationships and spend time with them in a different environment than the office in Johannesburg or Cape Town.
On day one, the 200 riders competed in a 35-kilometre stage with approximately 750 metres of elevation gain. This stage primarily made use of purpose-built single and river track, as well as short sections of farm road and jeep track. Solo riders and teams of two went deep into the Donkerhoek Valley before taking on almost 10 kilometres of river single track on the banks of the Crocodile River, the river from which the event takes its name. The participants crossed the Croc and its major tributaries more than 10 times during the next 3 days. A cold front had moved in from the Cape earlier in the week, and the first snowfall and very cold conditions in the Eastern Cape and Drakensberg area of the KwaZulu-Natal. Was this just a quick shower, or were the Crocs to brace themselves for similar conditions over the rest of the weekend? Those at the back of the field would soon realise that it takes only a couple of millimetres of rain to cause havoc on this route. The steep climb up 360-degree Koppie could not come at a better time as riders headed into the foothills and away from the mud.
Lovely though, it's beautiful. Nice little soggy bit.
Ja, is rof. Lekker klim hierdie. Na die lekker rivierstukkie het 'n ou nodig om weer 'n bietjie opdraanders te ry.
Die Oosrand drink ons brandewyn. Nie water nie. In die Kaap drink ons wyn by waterpunte. So, ek gaan nou 'n glas wyn soek.
I'll have a cappuccino, please. Give me 10 minutes to get my breath back, then I can tell you how far we pushed our bikes.
I would gladly swap it for a $5 tricycle if you had it.
Ek soek die ou wat hierdie opdraande uitgedink het. Maar is nogal moeilik.
Nee, is lekker, maar duidelik 'n bietjie onfikser. So betaal die prys, maar dit bly mooi.
And geez, what a stinger, but not impossible.
Yeah, we have a very bizarre situation with the snap cold front. Last night we had about 15 to 20 millimeters rain, and today they project almost 30 millimeters, which is absurd. We never had this rain in 30 years in this valley in May, but after the devastating drought of last year, we all welcome the rain. Obviously, it has a major effect on how we plan the day going forward.
Temperatures plummeted overnight, and with non-stop rain, race director Luther Erasmus and his route director Rainier van der Merwe had sleepless nights. The Crazy Crocs were destined to do the ultimate mountain bike stage of nearly 110 kilometres with more than 2,500 metres of vertical ascent, most of it on purpose-built single tracks that visited 8 of the 10 valleys and gorges within the Quena Basin. Wild Crocs were supposedly less crazy and would only do around 80 kilometres, while Mild Crocs were in for a tough, not so mild 55 kilometres. But none of these were to materialise. The organisers decided early in the morning that the gradients and steep descents in these routes would be too dangerous for even the best riders to attempt. After having assessed sections of the track, they opted for a neutral stage where riders could complete the 35-kilometre Croc2Croc route on a voluntary basis. This non-time stage provided lots of fun to the die-hard mountain bikers while enjoying the scenery and the mud along the spectacular Lindstrip waterfall track. These secluded valleys are truly a mountain biker's heaven. Even the farm animals were surprised by the weather. Nearly 100 millimetres of rain fell within a period of 24 hours. Compare that to the average of 5 millimetres for the month of May for this region. The riders nevertheless enjoyed themselves before returning back home to Verlorenkluft's 5-star accommodation, warm fireplaces, bottomless cappuccinos and La Caron's wonderful red wines. There were plenty of smiles when they came into the finish. For some, this was an exciting race on a muddy 30-kilometre single track. For others, it was a major accomplishment, having spent more than 4 hours out there whilst washing their mountain bikes several times in the Lindstrip River before handing them gratefully over to the competent bike wash station and tech support at the finish to prepare them for Sunday's Highland stage.
William, here's one.
On Sunday morning, riders were greeted with clear skies and sunshine. But just how wet would the purpose-built single tracks be that lead the riders into the remaining 2 valleys in the Quena Basin before the ascent to the highlands at an altitude of 2,000 metres? Despite the rainfall, the organisers promised yet another spectacular stage. While riders enjoyed another Verlorenkluft mega breakfast and waited patiently for the start, the race boss and route planner managed to bypass most of the severe muddy sections. This meant cutting out large portions of the Croc single track and forestry sections and replacing these with farm roads and the Wilgekraal district road and pass. The lead bunch picked up the pace once they crossed the Crocodile River and got onto the farm and district roads. Could they keep this pace up throughout? Once through the first water point at the Wachenbikkieshoek Game Estate, riders started the ascent to the highlands. JP Pearton comfortably took the Sunto King of the Mountain prize, while Deleen van der Leek took the Garmin Queen of the Mountain prize. JP and Deleen were also the first men and women to finish the stage.
Thanks to Verlorenkluft for hosting us, PwC for the sponsorships, Chappie, Liquoron for the wine, Eldoret, phenomenal wines, and let's see if we can get to the top. Thank you.
Loving it today. Loving it, loving it. Mud, heels, that's where to go.
After having turned just short of an altitude of 2,000 meters, they arrived at the highlight of stage 3, the Dully's Drop. With views of the faraway Quena Dam and mountains behind it, the riders are faced with an old ox wagon trail that descends nearly 800 meters into the Donkerhoek Valley. Some of them reach speeds well in excess of 50 kilometers an hour on sections of this hair-raising descent. Meanwhile, most of the cruise crocs and mile crocs had finished their race, and were awaiting the first wild and crazy crocs at home. This is what they had to say.
Great, plenty of district road, not too much mud.
It's so fun. Yeah.
Dit is baie lekker.
So baie dankie vir jou moeite. Ek wens ons kon jou regte roetes ry.
Baie lekker. Uitstekend. Goeie organisasie, alles reg.
Dis hy met 'n Toyota broek ry dan gaan staan hy nie mag.
Beautiful course, absolutely loved it. The descents, riding through the valley this last part, I think anyone who went home missed out terribly, and definitely a race I'd like to come back and do again.
Our weekend was pretty awesome, eh? The place is well organised, and crofts as usual are fantastic, and the organising of the event was actually very good.
Awesome. Too good. Yeah, no, thanks to everyone here. It really went out of the way for us through the bad weather, but we stuck it out. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed the last ride. Thanks to my beautiful wife for choosing the ride. She's always looking for good adventures, and yeah, it was awesome. Awesome.
I really enjoyed it. It was really good.
I'll be back next year to ride the 60s.
Mooi dag. Mooi lig.
Ja, het was baie lekker. Ek het gevlieg.
To describe this weekend at Croc2Croc, it's an amazing experience, the most wonderful setting, lovely people, great vibe. Although it was lots of rain, it didn't put any down on nothing on the spirit. Everybody kept their spirits high, enjoyed good food and wine. It was amazing.